Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with the next installment of Sensational Synergies, Super Synergy. You guys seem to like this series quite a bit, and I'm glad for that because it's one of my favorite ones to make, and I have a lot of ideas for it in the future. So, yesterday, the new featured crystal dropped, and I duped Punisher 2099. And this is actually a video I've been wanting to make for quite a long time, whether I make it is Punisher underrated, or I make the Sensational Synergies video, or just a regular showcase in general, because he is kind of older at this point. The buff happened, I believe, well over a year ago at this point. But I feel like ever since his buff, he's flown under the radar. And I don't know why, because I think he's very good and very OP in a large variety of scenarios, and very useful as well in a lot of endgame content. So you've probably seen the videos of Punisher 2099 being so OP with the stupid mastery tech collar that nobody uses. Nobody has this unlocked 5 out of 5. No one does. Some people do. I feel very comfortable saying that I bet 99.9% of people who play MCOC don't have 5 out of 5 collar tech unlocked. And I'd say 99.99% of people don't regularly run 5 out of 5 collar tech. So, what we're going to be doing in this video is trying to find a way to mimic that mastery setup for Punisher 2099 in a very efficient way. And the way we're going to do that is like this. First things first, we'll talk about the synergies that he does have that are pretty decent, above average. This one over here with Thor is decent. The first use of the nanotech battery is immediately recharged. That's decent, right? Over here, Punisher, very rare champion, but this is definitely very decent. Begin the fight with 25% power meter. If Punisher was more available, I would definitely be throwing the synergy in the mix. However, we are going to be using this one over here with Cap Infinity War. Alright, begin the fight with 25% additional battery charge. Now, when you're duped, you're essentially starting the fight ramped up with this synergy, which is quite good. So now we're going to be talking about the other very important synergy in this Sensational Synergy video, and that is going to be with a champion who isn't necessarily a synergy, but one who has amazing support potential, and that is Mr. Fantastic. And along with the support, we are also going to be bringing in another synergy for Punisher over here. Right here, duration of heal block, armor break, and power lock debuffs are increased by 50%. Now, for the last spot, right? The most important ones are Cap and Mr. Fantastic. This one's really important for longer fights where you're going for damage. And now, for the last fight, for the majority of this video, for the last spot, I went with War Machine. Now, you can definitely go with, for example, this synergy over here, depending on the matchup that you're doing. To get even some more power control, you can go with Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you want to get this synergy over here, get a little bit more additional attack. But personally, as someone who regularly uses the Suicide Masteries, I find War Machine to be a very wonderful candidate for support for any tech champion. And not just because of suicides, he has a way to make the debuffs that Punisher is going to be benefiting from 25% longer, or is it 15% longer? Not sure. And also gives some cleanse charges as well and some energy resistance. So War Machine in general is a great champion. Uploaded a rank 3 video 2 days ago, go check it out. But also, he's a great support champion for Punisher 2099. So this is the core of the super synergy, and you're gonna see it is pretty freaking super, man. So you've probably seen the videos of Punisher just locking down the opponent's power, right? But have you seen him doing some mega damage? Well, I'm going to be showing you some mega damage right out of the gate today. We're going to be starting with the damage and then building into the power control later on. Now, why is Mr. Fantastic on the team? Because one of his pre-fights right here, Suppression Field, decreases the defender's combat power rate by 25%. 25%. Now you combine that with your overdrive, and you're essentially running collar tech 5 out of 5. Okay? You see where I'm going with this? I think you see where I'm going with this, right? So we're going to throw that on, and then like I said, you don't need these War Machine pre-fights. It gives you a little bit more attack. It gives you the cleanse charges, makes your things a little bit longer, but we have plus 50% armor break duration from Red Skull. Okay, watch this. We're gonna not go for power control right away. Punisher 2099, he has a lot of different things in his kit, and you gotta know what you're doing with him in order to utilize it properly. I'm going for heavies because I actually want to lower my battery right away, because I'm going for a mega damage loop here. That's what I'm doing, okay? We're not doing this for most of the video. We're not going for a mega damage loop, but Punisher 2099 has a massive armor break on his special too, and I don't see people talking about very often the fact that this armor break is actually stackable. So what we're gonna do here, before we're not ramped yet, we haven't entered overdrive once yet, we're baiting specials, we're playing him like normal, and now we're gonna start. We're in overdrive now, doing some decent damage. We're doing 15k mediums, 9k light attacks, big heavy attacks, but now we're going to stack up this armor break, and for the rest of the fight, we are going to be using the special one to extend the length of the overdrive, okay? So check this out, 20k mediums, 13k light attacks, and look at Winter Soldier's power bar. He won't even dream of getting to a special attack. Pretty darn freaking nuts, if you ask me. 550,000 health, dead in about 70 seconds or so from Punisher 2099. I've seen many people say that he still hits like a noodle. That didn't look too noodly to me. Now, let's see just how strong his power control potential is, okay? His defensive combat power rate power control. And again, you don't need the War Machine, but since I'm just showing you the one fight here, let's throw him on, okay? Now keep in mind, this right here very often is not the optimal way I find to play Punisher, but let's check it out here, okay? So we're gonna wait. I like to wait in the beginning, and then, boom, let's go for it. Watch Winter Soldier's power bar with the suppression. 25% suppression from Mr. Fantastic. Minus 90% defensive combat power rate from the overdrive. Keep in mind, I believe we get plus like 5,000 attack while we're in overdrive, which look, no armor breaks, 9k mediums. If you were in Alliance War right now, the opponent would pretty much be dead in any ordinary fight. So, if you bring in Punisher 2099, Mr. Fantastic, and Captain America Infinity War to Alliance War, 3 very good champions. Depending on your path, depending on the defender, of course, it's obviously going to change if you're able to do this or not. But health pool wise, we have now taken off over 225,000 health, and Winter Soldier hasn't even made it to half of a bar of power yet. And Red Skull here, completely useless. Right? He's not doing anything for us right now. The suppression is doing a lot. Captain America Infinity War did a lot for us. War Machine, don't need it. Don't need it. This is a 3-man fight right here. Now, of course, keep in mind, I am running the Suicide Masteries here, so I'm taking quite a bit of recoil damage, right? But I'm just showing off the potential of the power control. The special one, it's going to keep building the battery while it goes down, so you kind of stay in overdrive. Let's finish it off with the special 2. Yeah, it was a lot of hits. It took about 100 seconds or so. He didn't even get to 3/4 of a bar power. That's pretty useful. That's pretty useful. Now, what if the defender has unblockable special 1, and it's like, I don't know, Cable or Punisher 2099. Do you think that'd be useful? I think so. I'm going to show you a lot of places where this is going to be useful today. That's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to go all over Act 6 and show just some fights using this team. But first things first, let's go for this Deadpool in 6.4. Very generic fight. Let's say you want to use Punisher 2099 for like Cavi Q. You got a Deadpool here. Alright? And let's say, like, you know, you can wait at the beginning and activate overdrive, but keep in mind, you know how to bait special attacks, right? You know how to play MCOC. You don't always have to do that. You can say, look, I'm going to be getting this overdrive pretty quickly. I can bait out a special one from Deadpool without too much trouble, right? So here, at this point now, Look at Deadpool's power bar. It doesn't really matter if it's all the way at 0, and it doesn't really matter if it's like at 80%. You're probably going to kill this Deadpool without too much issues here. Too many issues. Too much. I don't even know, man, but look at it. Quick and easy. Quick and easy, dude. So let's start looking at some practical places where this is going to be really useful. We're here in 6.4.2, okay? Let's take a look at this node here. Static Blast. An aura of electricity drains 50% of the attacker's power whenever the defender launches a special attack. Special attacks power burn 100% of the attacker's power. Blocking the special reduces the power burn damage by half. So this is like one of those nodes that's just kind of like annoying, you know? Like you're building your power up, and then the defender uses their power bar, and then you'll lose all your power. And there's also the power sting node here, so you can't use your specials before you lose them. But what if we can kill the defender without them ever gaining a bar of power? Is this not why people use Quake? And let me tell you something. Punisher 2099 goes a lot faster than Quake, okay? So, again, like I said, you know, you don't need War Machine. You kind of need Mr. Fantastic, but right here, it's like, you know, we don't need this one. So you get 2 charges. Unless you win a fight with War Machine, then you get more charges. So this is why I always preach, guys, rank up your pre-fight champions, because you gain more pre-fights. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait it out, okay? And now, you can go for a heavy attack here. Refresh the suppression, which, by the way, did 15k on that crit, which was very nice, without an armor break, okay? Look at Cable's power, guys. Just watch Cable's power. At this point, we're going to be using special ones to keep the battery high, and also refresh that suppression debuff, okay? Because when we use a heavy attack, it's actually going to take 10 of our battery away to put a stun on the defender. And I'd prefer to keep up my battery when I can. So I try my best not to go for the heavy attack if I'm trying to, you know, do some good stuff. So this fight was pretty decent, right? Took 5% recoil damage if you run the Suicide Masteries. And now you go on to the next fight. And at this point, you say to yourself, okay, War Machine, he could be kind of tough. Maybe we go for, I don't know, a War Machine pre-fight ourselves here, right? But we put on the suppression as well, right? But yeah, you make the judgment call when it comes to the War Machine, and if not, if you don't want to use War Machine, if you don't run the Suicide Masteries, right? If you don't need the Cleanse charges, if you don't want to put on the Skirmish, or you don't need the energy resistance, Cosmic Ghost Rider could be a really good 5th option here. Another Mr. Fantastic, a second one, so you have 8 pre-fights without having to do any fights with Mr. Fantastic, could be another really great option for a 5th slot. Double Mr. Fantastic could be a really, really good option here, actually. Okay? Right next to this lane, we have Footloose. Now, Footloose, the defender uses a special attack, and then they gain an unstoppable buff and an evade buff. Okay? That's annoying. That's a very, very annoying node. How many nodes are there where the defender uses a special attack and then something annoying happens? There's a decent amount of those nodes, okay? So what we're going to be doing here is the same thing we were doing against Cable. It's going to be a little bit tougher in this fight because Medusa is going to be auto-blocking us. She's going to be auto-blocking our special one, which is annoying. Our battery is not going to be building as fast from the special one here. Actually, I don't know if the special one is too influenced by the buffs. But in general, when you're not in overdrive, right, the amount of buffs on the defender, that's going to decrease how fast your overdrive charges. But with Mr. Fantastic with Captain America on the team, it's kind of okay if you don't charge super fast in the beginning because you're pretty much right there. You start at 90%, which is so good. Such a great synergy, a really, really good synergy, right? So again, we just don't want Medusa to use a special attack, right? And of course, we have class disadvantage here. See, we have to go for more heavy attacks because we can't knock him down with the special one because she's going to auto block, which is annoying. And we're about to run out of our overdrive here, but we keep going for that special one spam to keep us in it. The special one pushes you back far enough where if you hit on the block, you can usually parry, which is nice. And of course, Medusa can't parry us on the quest in like Alliance Wars she can, or Arena. As if that matters, right? But here at this point, our overdrive just ran out for the first fight in the video. So let's see if we can get this Medusa down before she uses the special. 1%? Let's just give her a little kick. There we go. Nice. Not too bad. So obviously, Medusa, a little bit of an annoying champion to fight there, right? Not the most ideal for us for many different reasons, because we can't like reliably knock down with a special one, and we have to use more heavy attacks to use our battery, and we get auto blocked a lot. But now we're going to go for Stark Spidey, and Stark Spidey, as we know, is the hardest defender in the entire game, so we have to use a War Machine pre-fight, right? You don't have to. That's sarcasm. Did you guys catch it? You guys catch the sarcasm? So again, Stark Spidey could potentially be a difficult defender, right? Because he can be evading and whatnot, but at the same time, we're kind of going to do the same thing here. We're going to go ahead and look. The cleanse charge got rid of our fatigue, so that's nice. But there's a fatigue right there. So I'm saying to myself right now, okay. So I got to be a little careful with Starkey's evade. So you like with most champions, right? The defender is going to play a part as to how easy you can do this sort of thing, right? If they evade, if they auto block, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to cheese through the entire game. Cable, War Machine, not much stopping you. Not much stopping you from just wailing on the defender. Let's go for the special 2 here. Pretty decent. Pretty decent stuff. Much better than Medusa, right? Much better. Much better. Guess what? We're going to stay in the same quest, the same 6.4 quest, and we're going to go on a third lane. A third lane. 3 lanes in the same Act 6.4 quest that Punisher can do really well on with this sensational synergy team. Okay? And now, guys, for example here. Well, let's look at the node first. I guess I should tell you what the node is first, right? There's that static blast node again, but also Typhoon. When the defender activates a special attack, they place a passive ion pulse charge on the defender at 10 charges. The attacker is burned. 100% of their current power, the charges are removed. If the attacker performs a special 3, all charges are removed. Whatever even that means, man. Power burn probably does a decent bit of damage. Static blast, that's annoying. Point is, it's annoying with the special attacks, right? So what we want to do here is make it so Invisible Woman can't use any special attacks. But we're not going to fight Invisible Woman with Punisher 2099. What we're going to do is fight her with her husband, Mr. Fantastic. And this is, again, why I always preach, guys. It's good to rank up your synergy members. It's good to rank up your pre-fight champions, right? Your support champions, because when you win, you gain more pre-fights, okay? You gain more pre-fights with War Machine, with Mr. Fantastic, and they're both absolutely incredible champions. Top 10 Science Champ Mr. Fantastic, top 10 Tech Champion War Machine on their own, and the support capabilities is so good, and the door opens up so much wider, and you can use them and gain your charges back, okay? So we're going to go into this Psylocke fight now. Okay, we're going to the Psylocke fight now, and pretty much going to do the same stuff that we've been doing, and we just want to make it so we can't get to a special one. Now, you can imagine any node is on this Psylocke. You can imagine there's a node that says if Psylocke even gets to a special one, you automatically die. That's what we can pretend this node has. Now, guys, keep in mind, imagine if you did this on like All or Nothing, right? On All or Nothing, man, like, they don't stand a chance of getting to a special 3. Like, not even a chance here. Now, despite my really crappy playing here at the end, right, this was another very, very solid showcase by Punisher 2099. And we're going to keep going on this path this time because, like I said, we started doing a fight with Mr. Fantastic to gain more charges to allow us to do so. Okay, and this just goes, I want to show that, like, he can do, yeah, we've been jumping around a lot. We've been doing the first fight, but he can do multiple fights on a lane, of course, right? So yeah, all you really need is that Mr. Fantastic buff, man. The pre-fight. And you know, sometimes if you want to throw on the War Machine pre-fight, dude, do it. If you want to bring along those CGR, get some more attack, do it. There are so many possibilities, man. There are so many possibilities, dude. And keep in mind, we're not even going for like a primarily the armor break, right? We're not even really going for like the damage loop in most of these fights here. We're going for that utility, where depending on the length of the fight, these yellow numbers that are very decent on their own could be much bigger, much bigger, right? Just look at his power bar, guys. He's just not gaining power. It's nuts. It's nuts. The biggest drawback I heard people saying to Punisher 2099 when he was buffed, it was like, yeah, he's good if you run a useless mastery that's useless 99% of the time that nobody has. That's a very valid argument. But you don't even need to have Mr. Fantastic ranked up to use this pre-fight, right? I recommend you rank him, he's a decent champ, but as you can see, man, this synergy kind of makes it seem like we have it. And again, Punisher, Captain America, and Mr. Fantastic are the three you really need, right? War Machine's nice to have. Here I accidentally put on the Petrify. War Machine's nice to have, and Red Skull only matters when we use this special too, okay? And that's really, you know, you don't even need that more often than not. That's really for like fights that are longer, like Winter Soldier, and also when you want to go for the double armor break rotation. And that's when it's good. But hey man, this is a sensational synergy video. It wouldn't really make much sense if I made one of these and was like, yeah, only 3 champs. Nah, you got 5 slots. Use them for something. But that's another point though, man. That's another point. Like, you can use the trio, right? You can use the trio, and then you can bring... I think Cosmic Ghost Rider is a great example because he's an amazing champion to use offensively as well, you know? So Cosmic Ghost Rider you could bring in Hercules, you could bring in, I don't know, She-Hulk, right? Depending on what you need on the path. Warlock, I don't know. Nebula, I don't know. Ultron, you like Ultron? Bring in Ultron. I don't know, man. Bring someone. You can bring anyone you want. Or you can use this team. This team is pretty good too. Let's finish it off with some heavy attacks here, man. And the suppression without the overdrive is really good as well, by the way. Like, we could have gotten off probably 2 more heavy attacks, I would say. Pretty decent, right? Let's go to 6.4.5. Just another kind of generic fight. This X-23. Lionheart, Arc Overload, Mirror Image. By the way, another thing he has in his kit, check out the heal block immediately right here. Heal block, done. Heal block, quick and easy, right? You know, another cool place to showcase this would have been against Realm of Legends Wolverine, right? Not because of the heal block, but because he can't gain any regen, or he can't regen if he's at 0 power. So we kill him off pretty quickly. He's at 0 power using this rotation and everything that we're doing here. And we just get through him pretty fast. I really like Punisher for like this size health pool, like 250k. It feels so good just going for a special 2 and then finishing them off. I just feel like he is very solid for a lot of endgame content. Whenever you don't want the opponent to use their special attack for whatever reason, he has a really great way of doing so, I think. If there's not any passive power gain, they will not be gaining power. I love it. I think it's... And then there's a lot of nodes that I can't even think of. Like what's the node? Is it a power play where like you need more power than the defender? You'll always have more power than the defender, right? There are lots of nodes like that where you need to have more power, or they can't have any power, right? The more power they have, the higher defense they have, right? The more damage reduction that they do, right? Something like that. There are lots of nodes like that out there that Punisher 29 is like sneaky really good for. Now, there's one more rotation that I want to show you that I'd say, depending on the health pool, might be a little OP. So if the health pool is like 150-ish K, if you're doing like a side quest, that has like 90k health, 120k health, this rotation is pretty nuts. Cosmic Ghost Rider synergy. You get a nice little Fury buff, okay? What we're going to do here is we're going to go into 6.1, okay? We're going to go up to that Electra. Now, Electra, of course, you can't really parry her or do anything when you have your Suicide Masteries on. So, hey, War Machine, it's your time to shine, man. I'd say that's the first time where we really needed War Machine, these pre-fights. But hey, we're going to go for our Suppression Field, which honestly we don't even really need for this one, because that's not what this one's about. So this is a 136k health pool, right? This is like your average like side quest health pool, right? Give or take nowadays. We're not even really, we're not going to wait for it to go to overdrive. We don't want it to go to overdrive because we want to do this. This is pretty nutty. Every 3.5 seconds, that's when we gain 9 battery, as long as there's no, buffs on the opponent. Okay? Our heavy attack is going to take 10 battery away every like 2.5 seconds and put a nice stun on the defender. We still have 61 battery. Now, unfortunately, this happens right here where the power lock goes on when they get to 3 bars of power and we lose like 40 battery. So unfortunately, that's like a little counterintuitive to the heavy lock rotation, but look at how nuts this is. And he could have went for a special 3 at any time, by the way. That's pretty nuts. That's like pretty nuts, man. You could just literally heavy lock the defender. And that's it. So, as you can see, this type of synergy with Punisher 2099 can't be used everywhere. But keep in mind, 4 out of 5 of these champs are amazing. And also, I believe Sweeter just made a very similar video with Red Skull. I believe using the Mr. Fantastic suppression, where he also has a very similar thing where they gain like no power as well. So Red Skull is like decent with this exact team. Isn't that funny? Look at that. So he's usable too. But I would say, man, there's no harm in swapping out War Machine for another Mr. Fantastic or Red Skull for another Mr. Fantastic. You just need Mr. Fantastic, Captain America, Infinity War, and Punisher 2099 in order to do the bulk of what you've seen in this video. I'd say Red Skull was decent and useful in the first fight and the first fight only, where I showed you that max damage output loop, where if you don't need power control, you're just going for damage, right? But hey, there's so many damage dealers in the game that I recommend you use a better damage dealer over Punisher 2099. What I wanted to showcase here is how to get that great utility of not giving them any power without using collar tech. That's the point of this video. If you want damage, go use Cosmic Ghost Rider or Hercules or another super big ultra damage champ. Punisher's got some amazing damage while also not giving them power, but hey man, I just feel like there's other champs that fill that role. But I think it's pretty impressive that Punisher can do that while also retaining that utility as well, right? I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of this guy. I would like to rank him up eventually. I don't know if he's on my short list or not. I just recently duped him. I never really thought I would dupe him anytime soon. Didn't expect him to be in this featured crystal, so I'll have to do some thinking on it. But if you recently just pulled or duped Punisher 2099, I do hope this video maybe opened your eyes to the potential of this guy and what you can do with a Mr. Fantastic, right? So you don't have to invest in the collar tech masteries, okay? And by the way, keep in mind that you can use that suppression with any champion in the game to lower the defensive combat power rate of the defender, okay? So you can definitely be using that Mr. Fantastic pre-fight just in general whenever you want to, okay? So that's going to be it for this sensational synergy video on Punisher 2099. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do hope it was fun to watch. And if it was, and if you did, please do your boy a big favor and drop a big ol' like. Comment what you think about this sensational synergy team in the comment section below. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any other future sensational videos coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around.